Hello and welcome to Parks and Rec 411. I'm your host, Brandy Nice. This is a monthly program that seeks to show you, the Downers Grove residents, what your park district has to offer and the many benefits of parks and recreation to the community. We're out in the parks today, so stay tuned. Welcome back. It's springtime, and April has some important environmental awareness days that we at the Park District will be observing. Earth Day is on April 22nd, and Arbor Day is on the 24th. So in honor of Arbor Day, we're encouraging residents to plant a tree. I'm here with the Park District Forester, Mike Stelter. Welcome, Mike.
Thanks, Brandy. Nice to be here.
Mike is actually going to show us the proper way to plant a tree today, but I understand that there's actually some preliminary work that we have to do first.
Yeah, basically when a person wants to plant a tree, they need to put the right tree in the right place, and that requires a couple of steps. Basically, you need to look at the site that you want to put the tree in first. Do you have enough room vertically and horizontally for the tree to grow? The second thing you want to look at is if there's any overhead power lines or underground utilities, and you would call Julie, which is the 811 number, to find out that information. Another thing to look at also would be the drainage of the area. If it's a wet area, if it's a dry area, that'll help you select your tree as well.
Okay, great. So you're actually going to show us how to do this right now, huh?
Yep.
Okay.
We've already planted the hole, or dug the hole, and the hole should be twice as big as the root ball on the tree. It should be the same depth as the root ball. So that's already done. We'll take the burlap off, put the tree in the hole, backfill it, tamping in around the edges so that we don't have any air pockets, and then create a saucer on top for catching any water when it rains. And then we'll be able to move on to our next step.
Okay. Let's go ahead.
We've got our spot here at the museum. It's fairly good soil. We've got a nice chinkapin oak that was donated by Possibility Place Nursery in Monee. When you take your burlap off, you want to make sure that you can see the root collar, which is the flare here. You don't want to see a straight trunk going into your root ball. So we have that. It should be about the right height when we put it in. It's always advisable to take off twine, burlap, anything like that when you're planting. It'll go in the middle of the hole. Brandy, could you just kind of make sure it's straight?
Yeah, it looks pretty straight to me.
Okay. Well, then we can start backfilling. What we'll do first is we'll put soil at the bottom of the hole and tamp it in so that the ball stays straight. Then backfill with the rest of the soil.
So should we be packing this loosely or tightly?
Well, at the bottom, you want to have it fairly firm so it supports the ball so it doesn't move. In the top part of the hole, you want it fairly loose so that the roots can grow out into the hole.
Okay.
And you always try to pull the soil away from the trunk. And that's basically it.
Okay, well now that we have our tree planted, what do we need to do to take care of the tree for the first year?
For the first year, you want to make sure that you keep a layer of mulch on there. And mulch is good because it does a few things. It moderates temperature, keeps it nice and cool. It helps maintain moisture underneath the tree. It helps keep lawn mowers away. And it's a good way to recycle wood chips.
Okay.
So, we'll put the mulch on. And in the mulching process, there's a couple of things you want to make sure you don't do. Again, you don't want to put a real thick layer of mulch up tight against the trunk of the tree, because then you can get crown rot going. It's more important to have the mulch out here where the edge of the root ball is rather than right here.
So sort of make a lip around?
Kind of a saucer
Okay.
kind of deal. Yeah.
Got it.
Nothing more than a couple of inches. We don't want a volcano mulch like you see in a lot of the landscapes where they'll do this, because that's not good for the tree. It'll help rot it out right through there. So basically, that's our mulching. And then the only other thing left to do is to water.
Oh, and how much water do we need to put on it?
Well, it depends on the time of year. Now for an initial watering, we'll put 5 gallons on it, and then watch what the weather does through the rest of the spring. Usually it should be 1 inch of rainfall per week. So, you know, it'll be one of those things where it might be a bucket every 10 days, you know, but we will make sure before we water it that it needs to be watered. You know, you always go through and check under the mulch. So.
Okay. Okay, so
That should do it.
we've planted our tree, we've got our mulch and water, and if people want to get more information on how to properly plant trees and care for them, what websites can they go to, or phone numbers do you have?
3 of them that they could go to. The Chicago Botanic Garden website will have a lot of information on plant selection and plant care. The Morton Arboretum website will have the same information. And the International Society of Arboriculture, which is a professional organization that cares for trees. They can give you information on planting, care, anything you want to know.
Okay. Well, thanks so much, Mike.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.